This video is brought to you by the OnePod Bandit. Spin to win now with PhoneDog.com's OnePod Bandit. It's free to play and you can win a cell phone or an iPod Touch. Just go to PhoneDog.com and click the Win tab. You can spin 5 times a day on PhoneDog and 5 more times each day on Facebook. Invite your friends too. Good luck from me, Noah from PhoneDog.com. Hey, what's going on everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. And this is the Nokia 5800 XpressMusic. This is an interesting phone. I'm a little sad doing this review because straight up, I really wanted to love this phone. I feel like I've been singing this tune with Nokia, high-end Nokia devices a lot lately. I really wanted the E71 to maybe become my daily phone of choice, and it just, after long-term testing with it, just wasn't for me. I really wanted to love the 5800 XpressMusic. There's something about the form factor, the number of features in here at a relatively low price, the unique thing that they're trying to do with the contacts bar on the home screen, which I'll show you more of in a minute, and we talked about in the unboxing video. A lot of stuff going into this device, really high quality display, that made me just really want to love it. And I don't. It's funny the way that it works. There are things about it that are confusing, and UI stuff that I just, the design of some of the virtual QWERTY boards and stuff like that I don't quite get. I obviously and frankly and everything, I don't know all of what goes into the design process, especially when you're doing something like this where you're taking an established platform, the Symbian S60 platform, and you're not rewriting it from the ground up, but you're kind of tweaking it to try to work only in touchscreen mode, which isn't something that other S60 devices up until now have always had a keyboard and a D-pad and whatever, and this is touch only. So I have no idea, how complicated that process is, the engineering stuff that has to go into it, what kind of a time window, how crunched for time the people at Symbian and Nokia and everywhere else were in trying to get this thing done and launched. But if the software was a little bit better on this thing, well, I don't know, because there's some issues. The touchscreen's kind of funny to use and stuff like that. So we'll get into it a little more, but basically I'm kind of saying this, that, and I think I'm going to try to reach out to some of the Nokia people to talk a little bit more to find out, there are things about this device that are encouraging, that make me think the N97 coming out, a few more rumored Nokia touchscreen devices coming out later this year. I'm really curious to see, what those are like and how they kind of bring together Nokia's long-standing tradition of open platform, lots of high-end hardware, that kind of thing, and then their newfound interest in social, all the social networking stuff, social media stuff, between all of their online services they're trying to do, their new Nokia Mail stuff, their whole Ovi community stuff, and then this new stuff they're doing with the contacts on the home screen and all that kind of business. It's all good progress, it's all good in theory, but in practice, using this phone was just not very much fun. And let's get into why. Alright, so the 5800 XpressMusic, which is nicknamed the Tube before it came out, it's been available over in Europe for a little while now. I actually almost bought one when I was in Spain for Mobile World Congress, but figured I'd wait for the North American version to come out, because the North American version has 3G banding that works. So I'm using it. I was using it on AT&T. You can see it's offline right now, and I was getting 3G speeds, which was great. The phone is available direct from Nokia for $400. You can find it online. I just did a little quick search on it. I found it online for as low as $300 right now. So, in the $320 range new for the North American version. And it's unlocked GSM. It'll work on AT&T. It'll work on T-Mobile. You won't get 3G on T-Mobile. No contract to sign, nothing like that. Direct. That's how Nokia has been doing business mainly. Not exclusively, but mainly. Feature-wise, you can watch the unboxing video, but chock full of features. It's a 640 by 360 display, widescreen format. It's got a headphone jack. It comes with multimedia out cables, so it actually does TV out also. You can hook it up to your TV or your home theater system. 3.2 megapixel camera, autofocus, dual LED flash, does video capture up to VGA res. It comes with a stylus that's built in, kind of a flimsy stylus, or just an oddly kind of not ergonomic stylus. Also comes with the plectrum, which is like a guitar pick that's kind of a second stylus. All these things are in the unboxing video if you want to see them. I'm not going to get into showing you them now because I want to talk more about the actual experience of using the phone. Dual stereo speakers underneath, you know, all Wi-Fi built in, GPS, obviously all kinds of stuff. It's a touch screen. It's a resistive touch screen. Well, we'll talk a little bit. The UI is the main thing I want to talk about. I'll touch really quickly on a few of the things. The display, I read some reviews that said it's not quite the knockout that it should be. I really thought in my using the phone that the display was excellent. Very high res, like I said. The widescreen's nice. You know, it's not huge, but it's big enough. You can view videos and stuff on it, and, you know, it looks good. We'll get into that in a minute. The camera, kind of mediocre performance, actually, and there's a firmware update. I haven't gotten it yet, but apparently it's been leaked that supposedly addresses camera performance, so which is good because, you know, it's a high-spec camera, but the performance kind of so-so, not quite as good as you'd expect when you see Carl Zeiss 3.2 megapixels. I took some shots on this that came out really well, took some not so great. Video quality, you know, for a phone, it's fine, but when you see VGA 30 frames per second, I've never used a phone that captures anywhere nearly as good as a standalone, even a cheap standalone camcorder. So, you know, there were a couple Nokias, I guess, that were kind of up, you know, getting close. N95, the old N93. You know, again on this one, definitely good for a camera, the video capture, but not, you know, not a standalone. If you really want to capture video, get a Flip HD if you want to go on the cheap. What else can I tell you? The music performance, you know, it sounds good. Plugged headphones into it. Everything sounded good. Call quality, the first call I made with this, the person who I was talking to said, hey, what phone are you reviewing? And I told them, they were like, I'm not buying that phone. They said the call quality was really bad. Subsequent calls that I had used it for, I didn't have any complaints, so maybe we just were in a bad reception area on that first call. Not the best sounding Nokia I've ever talked on, but sounded okay. Speakerphone is, you know, it's fine. Not the best, but definitely okay. Use the phone with a headset, and you know, that worked well. Wired or Bluetooth worked fine. So call quality, I'd say, was pretty good. Not the best Nokia, and that first call, the person I was calling reacted pretty dramatically. So anyway, getting on though, to, you know, to the usability, which is my thing on this phone. When you get a phone that, you know, has all these features on it, and it's the first touchscreen Nokia, the usability is a big thing. And basically, I was really intrigued by this contacts interface. Sorry, I should have set this to not dim. And what that is, you know, when you can add up to 4 contacts here, so you can have the bar on, you can hit the button, you can add a contact to the contacts bar, and, you know, you can add them in, and if I add in a new contact, you can add all these things. So their name, their phone numbers, their email, their video call number, who they work for, you know, all that kind of stuff. And when you have them added in, anything that you do with them shows up here. So here's Tom from PhoneDog. And so all of my communication events show up that I've had with Tom. So phone calls, text messages, you know, all that kind of emails, all that kind of stuff. Also, I can add in an Rss Feed Forum. So I can associate my contact with, you know, that person's personal blog or the company they work for or whatever. So down here, I've got the PhoneDog RSS feed, and you know, I can just hit the button and it'll take me right to the RSS feed. Now, I haven't updated this in a couple of days, but you know, here you go, and it's kind of a cached version. I'm offline right now, so that's kind of, you know, it's interesting. The more I use it, the more I kind of wondered how actually useful is this or not. I actually wrote a blog post over on PhoneDog you can check out, called something, I don't even remember what I called it, something about, you know, people-centric or stalkerware, because I read this phone and the Nokia intrigue for Verizon and some of the HTC, the new Touch Pro 2 and Touch Diamond 2 and the Palm Pre that's coming out, I think maybe the new Sidekick, have more of these features where they can display not just your call log and your messaging and your email inbox, but they can pull out, you know, all these different communication on a person-by-person basis. So if I touch flowers, I've got all the communication for this person, and I can call them. I'm not online, so, you know, I can't call them. I can send them a message. If I hit that button, it'll launch, you know, messaging and write a text message to that person. I can go in and I can change their details. This person doesn't have an RSS feed, but I could actually add one for them. You know, I can do that on like a person-by-person basis. So, the thing is that something that's just kind of a new trend, or is it actually going to be useful for people? And I could see it being very useful, and I just like, the innovation. The thing that bugged me about this is that I can't use the contacts bar at the same time as Nokia, as the regular Series 60 S60 active standby screen. So if I go to settings, and I go to personal, and I go to home screen, I have to double click. That gets into a weird thing about the touchscreen. I'll get back to that in a second. And I go to the home screen theme here. I have to choose basic, shortcuts, or contact. I can't do, so if I go to shortcuts bar, and now I've got the, the more familiar S60 home screen with the shortcuts bar, and then my information about, calendar entry and meetings that I have and that kind of stuff. And I'd like to be able to kind of choose or mix and match. Me personally, I would rather have the contacts bar than the shortcuts bar, but I'd like to have this little information here as well with my calendar updates. For me, calendar updates are a big thing. I use my phone, I sync my phone with my computer, I keep my calendar on there, I set it to remind me when I have, meetings or places I'm supposed to be, or the grocery list, or, whatever it is. And I'd like to have that on the home screen as well. So a little bit annoying that I can't, customize this even more to have shortcuts and these reminders and, other things that you can have if you're familiar with the S60 interface. Getting back to the touchscreen, something I mentioned, it's weird. It's a resistive touchscreen. It has haptic feedback if you want it, but the screen has a little bit of a give to it. Not just the regular give because it's a plastic screen, but actually it feels like it depresses almost like I'm clicking. And it's just kind of an odd sensation. It's kind of halfway between, it's not a capacitive screen. It's not like the BlackBerry Storm SurePress where it's capacitive, but it actually has a mechanism where you push to click. But it's kind of like, it's sort of in between. It's kind of an odd sensation to tap the phone, and especially on the things like I showed you where you have to double tap in certain, in list menus, you have to double tap sometimes. So if I want to get to choose themes, I have to double tap here. I also, even though it said in the instruction manual, I still don't quite understand when I have to single tap, when I have to double tap. It's not that intuitive. If I want to double tap on this, it's a weird thing. I keep wanting to press the screen down to choose things because it does give physically a little bit. And I don't just mean the regular plastic layer like on a regular resistive screen. There's a little more than that. It just feels like a click. You just have to take my word for it. It's kind of a weird thing.